Welcome to Marketing Without the Marketing. I'm your host, Michael Bosey, and happy that you're here with me today. And very happy to be starting a new series, which is about starting a business. I get asked a lot about this as someone who's been doing this for, I'm in year 5 of my business. Started from a standing start, 0 customers, 0 content, etc. And what do you do with that? How do you get, what are the first steps that you need to take? What are the things that you need to execute to move forward? Now, I'm going to start with not only the part that I know best, but what I think is the most important part of any business. Now, most people think that that's the actual product or service that you're offering. It's not, though. You can have the best product in the world, but if no one knows about it, no one talks about it, no one recommends it, in today's world, it's over. You're dead. Marketing is the most important part of any business. Now, let me stop right there to underscore the fact that if the product or service is not good, your business will not get off the ground. A good business starts with a good product, period. It's table stakes. In my career, I've been both a product guy and a marketing guy, right? So I know both sides. I spent 17 years in the publishing industry helping authors get their ideas out there into the world in the form of a book. So I know how difficult it is to actually produce something that takes sometimes, not just months, sometimes years. It takes a ton of work, and I have a healthy respect for the process of building a really good product. But here's the secret. With all that work on the product, that's actually the easy part. The hardest part is getting the word out. And this is a hang-up for most small business owners, right? Because they tend to think of what they know or what they grew up with as the way to do marketing, right? So the old conception of this was to just put an ad in the paper or run an ad on the radio or, traditionally just hang your shingle outside on the, your storefront and hope that people will show up. But all the rules have changed in today's world, right? And hey, look, that's really great for small players like you and me. It's democratized the entire system, and the only thing you need to know how to do now is to take advantage of that new system. And that's what I try to do here on this podcast, right? To teach you how to do marketing, but not make it feel like it's all self-promotional. And given that I work with, small and independent businesses, usually the person doing the marketing at these companies is either the founder or the CEO, or sometimes, it's a solo entrepreneur. In other words, marketing is not their job. It's certainly not why they got into it. And it's very tied up in a way in who they are, right? Because often the business is that person, or it's centered around their brand. So in other words, they don't want to risk their reputation by seeming pushy and salesy and all these negative things that we think about marketing. I don't blame them, right? Nobody likes people who are pushy and salesy. Now, in your business, the one that you're thinking of starting or that you are starting or, that you're in the first phases of it or whatever, you started this business to solve a problem, to make life better for people, right? You didn't start this business so you can constantly be pushing your product and service in people's faces, and especially those who didn't really want to hear from you, right? And that right there, that's what people think of marketing, but it's not. Today's marketing is about drawing people in by solving their problems before they are actually a customer. And that's called inbound marketing because we use it to draw people in. We also call this content marketing because we are using content to do our marketing. And content is what connects in today's world. And content is the way that you provide value to people before they are your customer. Now look, in the past, this was simply not scalable, right? You couldn't give free help to people before they were paying customers. That would be ridiculous. It really just wasn't possible in this one-to-one manner. It would take too much of your time. But that's all changed now. Right now, powered by the web, Helping people at scale is possible. And this, at base, is the core tenet of content marketing. I say this all the time. You provide enough value to solve people's problems and do it over and over again, even in a small way, right? Little microscopic, pieces of help. You do it again and again and again until you build up enough trust that when it's time to pay for a solution, well, guess what? You're now the logical person that they'll come to. This whole thing is centered on trust. Now, in today's world, people buy from those whom they trust. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about building trust. First of all, when you're thinking about starting a business, really there's two types writ large, which is a product-based business and a service-based business, right? So in a product-based business, you're going to be producing this product. Don't get lost in that, though, right? The marketing is absolutely key. I see a lot of people who are sort of head down, build the product, make it really good, and then emerge and say, all right, let's do some marketing now. And that's not the way to do this. You want to start your marketing early. It's got to be a central thing from the beginning. The smarter thing to do is to do your, minimum viable product from Eric Ries's Lean Startup. Get a product in its simplest form up there so that you can start to test this, so that you can start to interact with your audience. And you're doing this at the same time, connecting with your audience over pieces of content, whether that's a blog or social or a podcast, whatever it is that you do, you're getting to know your audience via the product and the content that you're producing around the product and your ideas. You want to be asking questions. You want to do some formal research. I'll get into that in later segments of this series. Now, if it's a service-based business, right, maybe you want to teach people how to play guitar, or you want to set up shop as a massage therapist or a chiropractor, or you want to start a consulting service like mine in a particular industry where you can take the expertise that you've gained from what you've done in your career, your experience, and you want to start to teach that to other people. In all those cases, you're going to be selling your services. Now, either way, with a product-based or service-based business, you really have to uncover the need. Right? This is why connecting with folks is really, really important. So in other words, what is it that people want? And don't worry if there's hundreds of other people doing it, doing what you do, right? No one's going to do it like you. I always say that, look, the stuff that I do in serving my clients, 90% of what I talk about you can get from YouTube or blogs on the web, whatever. What people pay me for is that 10% of my energy, my enthusiasm, my creativity, my ability to, sort of be dynamic in responding to what's out there and be creative around it. So what do people come to you for already, right? Even if it's a very small audience, what are you known for? And that could be really key to getting your business started. And sure, it might be a very small community, whatever, that's okay. Most people start off with an audience of absolutely zero. So if you're starting with even a few people who already think of you when there's a problem that they need to have solved, right? That's a huge clue that this is what you should be doing. All right, so how do we get started? That's what I want to get into over the next series of episodes. I want to take you through my process in more detail. How you can start from day one of your business. And, from a standing start, what are the first things that you need to do? How can you set yourself up so that you're making progress on the product or the service that you're offering, but still be doing some of the marketing up front? And look, there are a million different ways that you can attack this. You've got to find your own path, obviously. All I can do is just give you my experience in starting from day one of my business to how I got to where I am now. And hope that that'll help you, right? So it's just this one case example. And, I wanted to have this story sort of documented in a way, because when I get asked this question, it'd be great for me to say, here, listen to this set of episodes. Here's my experience. And then let's chat, right? So that now you have some background, you sort of understand my path, and you can ask better questions rather than me sort of spending time over and over again talking about stuff that is, sort of fundamental. And, we'll see if that works. So anyway, I invite you to come along with me on this journey and hear my story. And I would love to hear yours in return. So in the comments, or hit me up on social, or email me, whatever. I would love to hear, things that you relate to, or things that you tried that were different from mine that that might help people out. And maybe I can add those in to the series as I go. I think that could be kind of cool. So anyway, hope that you'll enjoy this. I'll get started on the next episode, and thank you, as always, for listening. Really appreciate it. All right, see you on the next episode.